self-control's got a rather negative connotations in our culture, hasn't it? We think of self-control as a synonym for being repressed. We've got to let it all out, haven't we? I wonder if people actually benefit from that. I mean, if you are repressed, which is a particular psychological condition, then it is good to let things go, isn't it? So we must be really, really careful here when we're talking about self-control, that we're not talking about repression. We're talking about freedom. We're talking about, let's think about the alcoholic or the chain smoker. They think, I'm asserting my freedom by getting drunk or drinking lots or smoking lots. That's my right, that's my freedom. But that's not freedom. They're trapped. They've got the compulsion to smoke, the compulsion to drink. So by exerting self-control, are we going to say the alcoholic who makes the effort not to take a drink is repressed? By not taking a drink, by not lighting another cigarette, that person is asserting their independence. Through self-control, they are asserting their freedom from compulsion, their freedom from addiction to external substances. And this applies at all levels of our psychology. We are like addicts in all senses of the word. We're addicted to our certain aspects of our daily patterns, whether it's soap operas on the telly, or pornography, or whatever. There's all sorts of things in our psychology that we're hung up on. And self-control is being able to step back from that and realise a contentment and a fulfilment within ourselves, which is independent of all external claims on our attention. Self-control, O Rama, is the best remedy for all physical and mental ills. When there is self-control, even the food you eat tastes better, else it tastes bitter. He who wears the armour of self-control is not harmed by sorrow. Yeah, some of the metaphors here perhaps are a little off-putting. But here we go. I mean, self-control, you can actually enjoy things more. We're not talking about denying ourselves. He says, even the food you eat tastes better. This is one of the advantages of self-control. You actually enjoy things because you're not addicted to them. You can't really enjoy something when you're addicted to it. And as he says, the armour of self-control. Well, it's not really armour. That seems to bolster the notion that we're shutting ourselves off. We're just not getting caught up in it. So in a way, it does have the effect of armour, but that kind of image of armour is rather a restricting one. He who, even while hearing, touching, seeing, smelling, and tasting what is regarded as unpleasant and unpleasant, is neither elated nor depressed. He is self-controlled. So you can enjoy things without getting hooked into them. This is the point. He who looks upon all beings with equal vision, having brought under control the sensations of pleasure and pain, is self-controlled. He who, though living amongst all, is unaffected by them, neither feels elated nor hates, even as one is during sleep, he is self-controlled. So here we're talking about a description of self-control. It sounds like this person is cut off. But remember, before in the previous chapter we talked about bliss. We heard about bliss. There is something immensely satisfying about it. It's freedom we're talking about after all. freedom from addictions, freedom from psychological compulsions. We are resorting to that which is eternal and unchanging, and there's nothing static about that, nothing boring about it. It really is the doorway to bliss.